Imagine being completely cut off from the world. No phones, no electricity, no friends, just you, the forest, and your will to survive. This is the unbelievable story of a boy who spent more than a decade surviving alone in the wilderness, facing hunger, predators, and the brutal cold of winter. How he lived to tell the tale will shock you. It all began when Marcus was only 12 years old. His parents, part of a small, isolated community in northern Europe, lived deep in the forests. But when tragedy struck, his parents passed away suddenly. Marcus found himself completely alone. Instead of seeking help in the nearest village, which was days away on foot, he made a choice to stay in the forest he had always known and survive. In the beginning, life was brutal. Marcus had no proper shelter. He slept under makeshift lean-tos, shivering through cold nights. But he remembered the skills his father had taught him: how to set snares, how to fish with sharpened sticks, and how to find edible plants. Slowly, he built a small cabin from fallen logs, sealed with mud to keep the cold out. Every day was a battle. To find food before nightfall, to gather firewood before the snow came. The forest was alive with danger. Wolves prowled the edges of his camp. Once, Marcus woke to the sound of a bear clawing at his food supply. But the greatest enemy wasn't the animals, it was hunger. There were winters where the rivers froze solid and no fish could be caught. Marcus survived by eating tree bark, boiling pine needles into bitter tea, and rationing every scrap of food. But survival wasn't just physical, it was mental. Marcus hadn't spoken to another human in years. He carved small wooden figures to keep him company, talked to the trees, and wrote messages on pieces of bark, pretending someone might one day read them. Loneliness almost broke him, but strangely, it also gave him strength. After 11 years, Marcus was finally discovered. A group of hikers stumbled across his cabin, shocked to find a man who looked more like a wild hermit than the boy he once was. At first, he couldn't even speak properly. Words felt foreign to him, but slowly, he relearned how to live in society. His story spread, and people couldn't believe it. A boy who entered the forest at 12 and emerged over a decade later, alive. Marcus' tale isn't just about survival, it's about resilience. It's about the strength of the human spirit, even when stripped of everything. Would you be able to survive alone in the wilderness for a week, let alone 11 years? Let me know in the comments what you think, and, Dan T, forget to like and subscribe for more unbelievable stories.